You're looking to release an album in February, I believe by the name of Nefarious. Oh, that's different to what I had.
Yeah, I got to change that on Facebook. The album that's to be released in February is going to be called Light, and it's an entirely concept album about the end of the world.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
And so what I also know is you were looking to do kind of a story arc over several songs. Is that going to be on the new album?
Yeah, some of those songs have already been recorded. So No Reason, I think, is on that list, and that was actually the B-side of my last single. And so, yes, they will have a story arc from before the apocalypse to after the apocalypse will be sort of the arc of the story. And I just really wanted to make it as screamy and yelly and depressing as possible. And so I've moved. I typically play with a capo on my third or second fret because that's usually where my vocal range is. And for the song I just played, which will be on this album, I've taken the capo off completely. And some songs I'm drop tuning the entire guitar just to make it more and more dark, chase the rabbit down the hole.
And is that also why you're deciding not to have your brother-in-law produce it this time, to keep it rawer?
There was a lot of... It's not that I didn't want him to produce it. We just never have the same schedules. And as I wanted to produce more and more music at a faster pace, it became easier to do it myself. And he actually was very helpful. He's given me condenser mics. He's walked me through how to record and how to edit and stuff like that. And so I've started doing it myself, and I'll send him the songs before they're mixed and be like, does that sound good? And sometimes he's like, you need to bring this up, you need to put that down. But overall, I'm actually pretty proud that I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel that when you do self-produce a record, you really get that sense of ownership over the entire thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good time probably to go for a second song. Maybe something off the new album?
Well, the new album, I just did one off the new album. I'm going to do my last single, actually.
All right.
Trouble for Nothing. That's the one I really like to play live.
Any story behind this one? Is there
Trouble for Nothing is just about like human relationships, man. Like whether it's romantic or just friendship. Like if you end up making an enemy of that person and they make an enemy out of you, it's just about like how you feel like you wasted all that time like with that person. So that's what really this song's about.
All right, well, take it away, man.
I hit the bottle when I get home. These winter nights, baby, I stay warm. You played a game with my head and you won. Not like I see you at all anymore. All this trouble for nothing. The separation is crushing. All these things I'm avoiding. With these grudges I'm holding. I spend my nights rattled to my core. I waste no time starting my next war. You could end this before I start. Now that thought entertains my heart. All this trouble for for nothing. The separation is crushing. All these things I'm avoiding. With these grudges I'm holding.
Another one by Bishop Lavey there. You did mention that you kind of took on this persona in order to kind of like explore more of your melancholy, emotional side. And I was just wondering, when you're writing and producing these songs, is it kind of an emotionally daunting experience, or do you find it kind of cathartic?
Well, I mean, I have a lot to pull from. Childhood trauma. My dad died when I was very young, and I struggle with depression. Like a lot of Vermonters do struggle with depression, especially in the winter. It's dark all the time. You know, you really get to like you feel trapped inside. You can't get out. And so a lot of my songs are about struggling with depression, and I come from a family of alcoholics, so I can touch on that and talk about addiction. And so it actually became it started out kind of hard, but it became really easy for me to start singing these depressing, melancholy songs that people can relate to. I mean, I got a buddy I work with who just sings along to every melancholy, depressing song that comes on Spotify. And I'm like, how do you know all these songs? He's like, I'm depressed. So I just wanted to write for people to let them know that they're not alone. And actually the next song I'm going to play is about losing someone because of depression in the winter, someone committing suicide that's very close to you, and just, letting people know that they're not alone, but also singing songs that you can absolutely relate to.
Yeah, really touches quite a lot of people in this moment in time, especially in this neck of the world as well.
Yeah.
And again in November when
where it's 10 degrees outside before Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And I hear so you got your I would say famous guitar that you're playing today. You've had that for many years. I think I read 80 since you're 18.
Yeah, I found this on a truck on the Barry Montpelier Road. This guy was selling all these things off his truck, and he was selling the body of this guitar. It didn't have nuts on it, didn't have tuning bolts on it, and of course no strings. Some of the fret knots were missing, so I put the guitar back together, and it's been with me ever since. It was once an electric acoustic, but I have no idea where those components live. But I've taken care of this thing since I was 18 years old.
Yeah, a real labor of love. And what have you got etched on the front there?
When I was 18, I drew on this a bunch of times, and I've actually since just wiped it off like tonight. And I had etched in just this machine before when I was 18, just because it was like a play on Guthrie's guitar.
Yeah.
And I feel like music is a really good weapon against depression, and especially with addiction. A lot of musicians are addicts, but when they're on stage, that's their moment, that's their element. Yeah. And so I etched into the guitar. This machine is my only weapon.
I like that. And
then it's got the all-seeing eye, but that's on all of my album covers. It's tattooed on my arm.
Oh, talking of tattoos, actually, I did see on your Instagram that you have the Blackbeard's Jolly Roger.
Yeah, my sister invited me out to go get pirate-themed tattoos, where she got this elegant ship. I didn't think it was going to be elegant at all. I didn't know it was going to take this much time. But she got this really elegant ship, and I was like, give me Blackbeard's flag.
Did you know that before you were going to go out there, or were you like, when you were there?
No, I thought of it, and I was like, oh, pirate theme, that's cool, but like I don't have that much money. So we get there, and I'm like, I've decided on Blackbeard's flag. And he goes, you sure? And I was like, make it bigger, though. That's a small drawing.
I like the inspiration there, especially because not many people know that Blackbeard didn't kind of like sail under the classic skull and crossbones Jolly Roger. It was quite a specific design. So
my girlfriend hates it. She hated it when I got it. Yeah, she was saying like, he's evil. He's killed people. He's probably raped people. And I was like, well, thanks for telling me after I got it.
It was a pirate.
But also, like, the way I looked at it was like he was the most feared pirate in history. And I mean, it was just a fun pirate-themed tattoo that I got. Most of my tattoos, there's no meaning behind. I just get them in the spur of the moment. I got a bat on Halloween.
Nice. Very, very appropriate for the time.
I got an all-seeing eye on the Friday the 13th Doesn't
Does your
matter.
sister often invite you up for like tattoo parties, or is this
No,
all
no. That was a one-time thing. We have been getting closer since her and Vincent, the owner of Green Mountain Records, they got married this summer.
Oh,
and we were
congratulations.
just ever since I got back from California, we've just been getting closer as a family. When I was fresh out of high school, I was not around.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. And before I let you play your last song, so you got your album coming out in February. You have a Bandcamp website, and you can find you on Facebook. Have you got any dates coming up that you kind of like to plug?
I have the last date of 2018 before I tuck in and finish that album.
Yeah.
It's at Radio Bean here in Burlington on the 21st at, it's either 8 or 8:30. I'd have to look at my phone. But it's going to be the last one of 2018, and I don't think I have any openers. I think I'm the first one. I'm not going to, don't quote me on that, but.
Oh, I wasn't planning on. I'm guessing any further information can be found on things like Facebook?
Yeah, it can be found on my Bandcamp. I don't know if the Spotify is still, I have to go through and see if it's still posting gigs. But you can definitely find it on Radio Bean's information too, on their website, on their Facebook.
And look out for your album coming out in February titled Emotions?
Light Emotions.
So close.
That'll be the next EP after that one.
All right. Well, what song have you got left for us
This
today?
is this last song is the title track off that very first Bishop Lavey EP. It's called Paint Me the Widow.
All right. Take it away.
Paint me the widow on this lonely night. I can see your reflection in the starlight. You try to run, but you run too far. You won't get where your going starts. For this snow is in those boots too thick. For this cold it will eat your skin. So paint me the widow. So paint me the widow. Paint me the widow on this lonely night. I still see your reflection in the moonlight. But you've run too far. Get where you're going by the time spring starts. For this snow is too deep, it's too thin. For this cold it will eat you and on your. So pain, so pain me, so pain me,
Bishop Lavey there. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate
having me.
and especially when the new album will happen.
I'll definitely shoot you guys. Thank you very much.
Next, we've got Fossa moment, and so stick around.
Burlington's community radio station plays Vermont-made music from the library of Heavy.
Bodies are an alternate home for the our
And we're back. This is Tom Prox on the Rocket Shop. With me right now, we got Matt Bradshaw, and I'm sorry I'm going to butcher this last name. Worstenek?
Close enough.
Close enough. Fossa.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Once again, we always like to introduce something and get going.
Yeah, we'll play first tune for you. This one's called Bones.
All right.
Bed of an old jeep headed west. It was going on down the road, not feeling quest. In the old black step would tell don't run away. And I'm headed home. Lavey only home. In old blue, this one's ripped away from. Gotta find a new, gotta go alone to the grave, they said. Pieces of your freedom bones, did that fall? Let it go. Down big old man's awaiting. I'm home, milk cradle, all my naked darkness. I'm Blue Ridge when I see that fog. I hit my mind to Kimbo Sea. Carolina, she's still find pieces of myself that I've never known. Oh, never known. When I feel direct come slow, swear to carry back home. You've got another way, they said. You've got alone, turn back home into the grace. And when you find your flesh, put them back on your bones. We'll never make it that far. At least you have your bones.
That's a lovely little note to end it on. Fossa there with Bones. So you guys are a little bit groove, bit funk, bit
Yeah.
jam. What genre would you pigeonhole yourself into if you had to?
Oh man, yeah, we definitely try to avoid the pigeonholing. I think you nailed it right there, though. I mean, we try to be the one style. We like so many different types of music that we want to try incorporating different flavors in what we play.
And who brings in what? Do you all have like different kind of styles that you bring to the table, or do you generally all kind of like have the same influences and the same styles, and it just kind of ends up?
Like, for the most part, we have similar influences, but yeah, I mean, I think we all have different styles and genres that have influenced us over time. And, you know, obviously we all like rock music, I would say.
If correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you guys met at UVA, correct?
Yeah, we met via UVM. Alex and I both graduated recently, and Matt's still in school. That was the central location for us.
What was the story?
I was taking bass lessons at the UVM Music Hall in Dublin, and there was a poster that said it was like something really funny, and they just had the number. So I hit them up, and we jammed, and it went well. So we just kept playing together.
So you had a band initially, and was it just a one player you're looking for? Was it just a trio that you looking for, like an 8-piece, and you just kind of went with what you got?
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, originally, me and Tommy and we had played together a couple times, and you know, every time it was, dang, we've really. But I mean, now that we've been playing for a while, we've been thinking about trying to bring in of some kind, probably a guitarist, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the UVM scene actually. Combinations of instruments and styles. Is mandolins, lot of basses and whatnot as well. You guys ever incorporate bagpipes?
Ooh, I definitely love it. Weird instrumentation. Love to see interested in playing with some horn players and stuff here and there, but yeah, I'd probably keep it straightforward. Probably anything. All
right. And especially in the last couple of years, there seems to be Princess Nostalgia's out there at the moment as well. What is it about UVM graduates that have been so prolific when it comes to the Burlington area?
I think people come to it. One of the reasons might be that they're seen in Burlington. Definitely a thriving since I came to Vermont. I knew a lot of good music venues, small music venues too. So that's great for rather than big intimidating theaters in the bigger cities. A lot of nice small bars and stuff, and people are excited about live music.
Yeah, that's real true. Especially things like Radio Being, got five live acts.
It's great. We're lucky to have Radio Being.
Right. And obviously, it's such a great history as well. With Fish of paving the way, especially in the 90s, for a really great scene here. All these great musicians coming out of UVM. Have you guys had an opportunity to collaborate with any of them? I did see that you were on the bill with UVM bands. Have you guys ever just kind of sat down in the studio and jammed with them, or is it?
Well, I don't think that's our attitude about it. Like, keep to your lanes, but yeah, we haven't really played with too many UVM people. I mean, we recently played a show at our class and friends. I'm pretty sure she goes to UVM, right?
Pretty sure, yeah. Most people do. About that. And I also saw that you did a mini tour in the. You want to tell me a little bit about that? What stories came on that one? I am so sorry.
That would have been fun. We might have fed you some wrong information, but we were taking a little break this summer.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Okay, well, sorry, Matt, I'll retract
I did a little
question.
tour around the country, but not musical.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just...
Well, on that note, then, I think we should listen to another song. And I'll see if I can beat the next question.
Called Heart Gone Black.
All right. and Black there by Fossa. So notice haven't really got anything recorded yet. You've got obviously a good collection of. When's the plans to get into the studio?
The plan, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we're still not really sure. We're definitely in the next couple months we're gonna try to head in and get some stuff recorded because we're definitely could easily record. So.
Yeah. What kind of collection have you got so far? How many?
I think we're up at like 11, maybe 10, 11, 12 original songs.
Okay.
Which are more recordable than others.
Yeah.
But somewhere around there.
It's an EP.
Yeah, we're definitely thinking EP for our first release. Trying to do that ASAP. Yeah.
Especially while you still got access to the EVM recording studios. It's
oh wow, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been our barrier for sure.
Even though recording at home these days is a lot easier than it used to be. It's equipment and a hell of a lot of money to be able to pull it off, and a lot of skills to be able to produce yourself. So yeah. As ever, is it kind of like you just kind of get together and jam when you?
I know Tommy records, and I have mostly just like I play guitar, mostly just things that I've written on guitar. But yeah, I'm certainly no sound engineer, so it usually doesn't.
Bob makes it look easy, but it's a lot harder than you think. And like, is it just one of you that kind of brings the foundation, and you kind of all come in and build the whole thing from the ground up?
So like, I would say about 2/3 of our song in, and then we all kind of some of the other ones we like wrote the song together. So we just started with like just put it all together slowly.
Done thing. You kind of get these to kind of mull them over and let them marinate for a little bit.
It's definitely a process for us. Pretty good idea of what we want. It's just a matter of learning it and making things, and not playing it the same every time. So
there's always room for improvement. You can always tweak it a little bit. Yeah. Always make it sound a little. And are you drawing on anything to learn? You're not of your deep emotions and what. But what do you kind of draw on when it?
Oh man,
that's a good question. I take inspiration from things that I'm reading, books that I'm reading, because, and I hear great ideas from great writers. It inspires me to.
Right now, of interest.
That
book.
Yeah, I read not too long ago. Wandering Home by Bill McKibben, which is a little hike through southern Vermont, New York. It's
a very area that world.
Yeah, definitely.
If just in my personal opinion, if you've not read it, if you have,
I've read Steppenwolf.
Definitely read that. And write lyrics, or is it just you?
We typically whoever's majority of the with it, kind of as the package deal. So yeah, written lyric. And
have you guys always been musical, or you went to college?
I've when I was in like second grade. That lasted for like 3 years. And then I played guitar, and then I played trumpet.
All right. I mean, they don't need to get another the fourth member. You could probably just pick up one of your other instruments and. And how about you two?
I've definitely been playing music, different instruments, on guitar until probably just when I really became a guitarist rather than different things.
All right.
Drums and other ones.
So you're all multi-instrumentalists then, because obviously you play guitar as well. It's good to know if you could always just like
we talked about that.
I remember after every single song they just kind of every single song was like kind of different. They had like a certain like style, but each one was like slightly tweaked and a bit of a different genre based on what was played. So before I get you to play your last song, gig dates coming up. Anything you want anyone to know? Anything to plug?
Actually scheduled right at the moment. We do. I would say stay tuned. The best way to stay is social media. So for what we're working with.
All right.
So I'm sending you guys along links. Just look up SSA for all of you listening.
Yep.
So as we post gigs.
Wicked. All right. Well, I'll let you play off your last song. What?
We're gonna do an instrumental one for you guys. If that's
Oh, totally instrumental.
right, Fossa.
I realized it wasn't instrumental, right? As I said, like a short version. CD.
CD there by Fossa. The guys, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. Recorded, and we'll get you back in again.
Most definitely, and thank you so much to Big Heavy World, guys. We appreciate it.
Anytime, honestly. Next week, we at the moment don't have anything.
For Thanksgiving time,
It's
we
a
are taking a day off.
I'm not American. I got no idea. Actually, I'm not even here. I'm in England. What am I talking about? So yeah. No show next week. It's Thanksgiving week. After that, we stay tuned then. Thank you guys so much, and this has been.
Working like a madman every day. I can't seem to find another way. You can lose yourself there, always keeping tabs on your references. I've been not a love every time it happens and the ever feel try to explain feeling of yourself, yeah. Didn't I not him? I'm not for it. My shoes need to be not expecting to stay. Love, I mean, not expecting to stay. Put your time.